They laughed because she looked too young, too quiet, too ordinary to belong there. But when she finally spoke and told them to ask their general who she was, the laughter did not stop right away. It stopped only when a colonel standing at the edge of the room turned pale and whispered a single word that changed everything. GROM. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. Her name was Marta Kowalczyk, and on paper, she was just another junior officer assigned to a joint training facility in Eastern Europe. The base sat between dense forests and gray concrete runways, a place where reputations were built on scars, missions, and the weight of unspoken history. Soldiers from different nations trained there together, measuring each other by posture, confidence, and the stories they hinted at but never fully told. Marta arrived without ceremony. No entourage. No special introduction. She wore a standard uniform with minimal insignia and carried herself with calm restraint. To the others, she looked like someone still trying to prove herself. Her face held no arrogance, no need to dominate a room. That alone made her an easy target. The first jokes came during a briefing. A few senior officers glanced at her name on the roster and smirked. Someone muttered that she must be lost. Another said she probably handled logistics or paperwork. When she took a seat near the back, the laughter softened into dismissive grins. Marta did not react. She listened. She observed. She waited. The days that followed only sharpened the contrast. During training exercises, she performed every task precisely but never showy. She did not boast. She did not correct others unless asked. Some took her silence as weakness. Others saw it as inexperience. A captain from another unit openly questioned why she had been included at all. One afternoon, during a tactical planning session, the tension finally surfaced. A disagreement broke out over an extraction scenario. Marta calmly offered an alternative route, pointing out a vulnerability in the original plan. The room fell quiet for a moment, then erupted in laughter. A major leaned back in his chair and shook his head. He told her the plan had been approved by people with far more experience. Another officer asked if she had ever even seen real combat. The words were not shouted. They were worse. They were amused. Marta met their eyes one by one. Her voice, when she spoke, was steady and low. She told them the route they had chosen would fail under pressure. She explained why, using details that only someone who had been there would know. Still, the laughter returned. That was when she said it. Ask your general who I am. The room froze, not because of the words, but because of the way she said them. There was no challenge in her tone. No anger. Just certainty. The major scoffed and asked which general she meant. Marta replied with a name known across Allied forces, a man whose approval was not given lightly. A few faces shifted. Someone called it a bluff. Another joked that everyone knew everyone in stories dotted the back of the room. A colonel who had remained silent the entire time slowly straightened. He had been watching Marta since the first day, watching how she moved, watching how she listened, watching what she did not say. He asked her a single question. Where did you earn your qualification pin? Marta answered without hesitation. She named the program that did not appear in public records. A place spoken of quietly, if at all. The colonel's jaw tightened. He stepped closer, his voice barely above a whisper when he said the word GROM. The laughter died instantly. For those who knew, the meaning was clear. GROM was not just a unit. It was a standard. A shadow force built from the most demanding selection process in Europe. Operators trained for missions that never made headlines. People who did not need recognition because their work spoke in outcomes, not stories. The colonel looked at the others and told them they were in the presence of someone who had been tested beyond their imagination. Someone who had led operations they would never hear about. Someone whose quiet demeanor was not weakness, but discipline. The major tried to recover, offering an apology wrapped in humor. Marta did not acknowledge it. She returned her focus to the plan and walked them through her alternative route again, this time with full attention. No one interrupted. No one laughed. Later that evening, word spread through the base. Questions followed. Some were respectful. Some were curious. Marta answered very little. She did not need to prove herself anymore. The truth had done that for her. Over the next weeks, the training changed. Her suggestions were no longer dismissed. Her presence shifted the tone of every room. Yet she remained the same, calm, focused, uninterested in praise. One night, the colonel found her alone, reviewing maps under a dim light. He asked why she never corrected them sooner. Why she let them laugh. Marta said respect forced by rank was temporary. Respect earned by truth lasted longer. She said she had learned long ago that those who needed to announce their strength rarely had it. When the joint exercise ended, Marta left the same way she arrived, quietly, no ceremony. But the base felt different after she was gone. The officers who laughed at her carried the lesson with them. Not about GROM, not about rank, but about humility, because sometimes the most dangerous person in the room is the one no one notices, the one who listens, the one who waits, the one who does not need to raise their voice to be heard. That is the real power behind silence. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.